Hello, I'm Marcus. I'm a painter and sculptor working in a variety of different media. Today we'll be making a simple board game for 2 players made from 3 materials: slate, stones and clay. The game will be based on a fantasy theme and will progress via dice throwing. Other services and inspirations can be found on our website and YouTube channel. The links are in the description. As always, if you like our video, make sure to hit the like button and follow us for other tips and tricks. Minerals are hard surfaces that generally take the paint from the markers very well. It usually dries on them in about 3 minutes and stays on permanently. The surface of softer materials can be scratched off, which removes the paint as well, so these need a layer of coating in case you'll handle them often. Alternatively, you can fire the minerals in an oven for better binding. Slate is slightly rough, but will take the marker paint very well. It's also ideal for blending colors despite the rough surface. It's a semi-porous surface, so you can put in accurate details with finer pens. It usually comes in various shades of grey, from light to very dark. This can be used to your advantage when shown bare next to other colours. Be aware that slate can crack or break easily, so keep it on a flat surface while working on it. Stones can be smooth or rough. They will take the paint well, but obviously more work is needed on the rougher stones. The curvy shapes of the stones can suggest figures or faces, and the form can work together with the decoration that you apply with the markers. After drying, the paint is permanent unless you're determined to take it off. Clay has the advantage of being able to be molded into whatever shape you want. When it's dry, it will take the ink very well, as it's very absorbent and colors will blend fairly well on it. Depending on what you're using it for, the clay can be fired or left unfired. In this case, the clay will still dry and thus keep its shape, but your design or unfired clay will only really be permanent under a coat of varnish. We're going to make the board game, and we're going to start with the slate. So we're going to make the board and we're going to make a backdrop. I'm going to start with the castle, and I'm going to draw out in pencil first my idea. It's always a good idea to have a sketch so you know what you're doing. Now I can start painting it with the markers, and I'm going to start with the lightest colour, yellow. Now I'm going to do the front wall of the castle. As you can see, I'm taking advantage of the darkness of the slate to create the cracks in between the masonry. I'm going to use that again and put the sky in to show the darkness of the main buildings. And then I'm going to apply a black just to put a few bats flying around the towers. I might actually put some detail into the windows as well. The castle is going to stand like this. I've drawn a pathway. The path is going to be high up on the ridge of a mountain. So I'm going to use white and brown to show the different sides of the mountain. When blending, the tip of the pens, for example here the white, can get quite a bit of brown in it. You can just go to a page and then just let the pen flow a little bit more until it's cleaned itself. I'm going to wait for that to dry. It's going to take 3-4 minutes. If you've blended something, it might take a tiny bit longer. And then I'm going to put the area on the top of the path here so you can count your pieces along. I'm going to get a light blue to pick out the edges, so the sky is going to carry on from the castle around this whole construction. I'm going to use a pink here. Again, using the darkness of the slate to kind of draw black lines in there. I'm going to put pink in here because this is supposed to be a red area, but it's fallen down. If you end up in there, you have to go all the way back to the beginning and start again. The big arrow is going to let you know where to start. Now this is the end, and what we're going to have here is a big pile of gold. Just putting in some highlights there. We're going to have 3 spiders along the pathway. I've made a sketch of the spider, and that's the model I'm going to use. You can see the spider spanning 2 spaces. And what that means is when you start from here and you land on this space, you can jump over and avoid going around the bend. However, if you miss that and you land here, you have to go back. There's going to be 3 of these around. The last consequence is going to be a trap door here. Now if you fall onto that one, you are actually going to go ahead by 5 places. The number here, which we're going to call the gorge, is missing. Since there's spiders here, I'm going to add a little bit more decoration. Spider's web here. I'm using stones as pieces, and they're going to be slotted into clay slots like that. I'll show you how to make the small holders. Just take a lump of clay, have a board, and you can just press it down with your thumb, your fingers. Tell if you've got a knife. I'm just going to get a stone and just push the clay around it. Take off the excess clay, clean it up, and then we have our little holder. Now you can decorate the stones any way you want. I mean, since the theme is fairly darkish, I might actually decorate one as an owl. I might have a knight as well. But let's try the owl first. The rounded head of this looks quite nice and could easily be an owl's head. I'm going to use a bronze color to do most of the body. The ink will need about 3 minutes to dry on the stone here before you can move on and put another layer on top. Here I think I'm going to draw a knight. I'm going to use silver on this and then pick out the details with black. Okay, that's my knight. So we're going to make a ghost's face with an open mouth. White has dried and I'm going to apply black to finish off the ghost's face. I'm going to colour the holders now. Use some nice bright colours. The clay is not yet completely dry, and if it was dry it would be much easier to apply the ink. Okay, so I'm going to make a dice with only 4 sides in the shape of a coffin. And this is where you need your knife. Again, carefully with your fingers. I've got roughly the shape there, and I'm going to put it in the oven now at a high temperature for half an hour. It's just come out of the oven and it's nice and dry, ready to be painted on with the markers. When the clay is dried quickly, it tends to produce cracks, but the paint from the markers will actually cover it completely. Okay, we're going to let that dry for about 3 minutes. We're going to have Dracula on one side and his bride on the other. 2 fangs coming out and his hands. I'm going to just draw around the coffin for the other side. Okay, I'm just going to put a little red mark there. I'm going to use this fine marker to put the details. Top's a bit red because I put my finger there, but don't worry, you can use a pen to white it out. And now, because it's a dice, it needs some numbers. Dracula is going to be number 1, so I'm going to put that on. And on the opposite side from Dracula, I'm going to put 4 because the opposite sides should come to the same amount. So 4 and 1 is 5, 3 and 2 is 5. If you've got clay left over like I have, I'm going to make the stand which will stand the castle. Very simple stand. Our game is finished, but if you're still curious about different minerals, head over to our website for even more information. If you like our video, make sure to hit the like button and follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels.